What is up, everybody? Welcome to AK Plays. I'm AK. Let's play.
Huh?
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
One eternity later.
Alright, everybody. Today I'm going to be talking about why everyone hates D3-FNC in Update 1.8.3. Now, obviously this beginning clip here I'm not using D3, but there are going to be a few clips during this video that I am, because, well, that's what the video is about. I'm doing this because I know a lot of people really hate watching me use D3. It is by far the most, negative comments and disliked videos. If I post about D3, people freak out. And so I'm talking about why everyone hates it so much. Now, I've done a couple of Nomad videos. I'm not a big Nomad fan, using it or fighting against it, but I'm also not an outspoken hater of Nomad. But at the same time, those videos don't get nearly the hate that the D3 videos do. And I think that's a little odd, because from a objective position, I would say that Nomad is probably more infuriating than D3 is, at least to me. Now, D3, the reason people hate it, there's a few, but I would say that the reason that D3 went from being a completely not hated build to up there as the top 2 hated builds, this and Nomad, I would say is because what happened in 1.8.3 when they got rid of Striker. I mean, I know it's still around, but you know what I mean. They nerfed it into the ground. So now that Striker's not there as a hard counter for D3, your only real option is to use a sticky bomb. And that's not a great counter. There's a few ways a D3 can play around that and deal with it. Plus, you have to run a tactician build, and it puts you at a few disadvantages. It screws up your team dynamic, usually. Overall, it's just a pretty tough counter to completely change your build just to account for somebody else's build. At least that's my opinion. But either way, removing Striker as the counter for D3 and leaving it only as tactician is pretty tough. Now, yeah, of course, there's other ways to beat D3s, but it takes a lot longer. So it's really tough to counter, and that makes people pretty upset. The tankiness of D3 is what really angers people. People don't like that in this game where the time to kill is supposed to be pretty quick. Obviously not Call of Duty quick, but quick. And so people think that using D3, a build that gives you unbelievable survivability, buffs your team, it's pretty powerful. And so people don't like that. Now, when it comes to the tankiness, I think that that is fine. I think that the build is made to be tanky, and you have a big shield, and it reduces your movement speed. I think that that makes sense. That is the idea of the build, and the gear set is made to be like that. I think that the tankiness of D3 is fine, and I think buffing your team is a fine bonus. The one thing that I think subconsciously, and in some people's case consciously, makes people mad about D3 is the fact that it hits really hard. Now, D3 does have potential to do some serious damage. You only need 9k stamina to hit your maximum shield health, and that gives you enough firearms that you can still unlock some weapon talents and do some good damage with your D3. And I think that's what's tough for people, is that the D3 is not only the tankiest build in the game, debatable with Nomad depending on how many lives they get, but base, the tankiest build in the game, and it can still do enough damage to put people down. That's what I think is the biggest issue with D3. I'll suggest a fix, but we all know that there probably isn't going to be another update since Division 2 is right around the corner. My one fix is I think that it should be 10k stamina for your shield to hit maximum shield health. I think that that would increase the tankiness of D3, which is the point of the gear set, and it would reduce the damage that a D3 can deal, and that would probably help people in fighting it because it becomes not as much of an offensive entity. It becomes more of a big defensive shield that is used for pushing people through tight corridors and funnels. And that, I think, is what D3 was made to do, and it makes sense. So I think 10k stamina should be the maximum shield health, and that would make it so they have to have a little less firearms, they won't be able to unlock the weapon talents they want, and I think that that would help with the D3 filling its role better. It would use, if that was the case, I would run with a house that has, I don't know, predatory sustain, something like that, and I think that that could be pretty good. Maybe even self-preserved would get some play. But either way, I think that would up the tankiness of D3 to enhance the gear set for what it's supposed to do, and it would reduce the potential damage that they can deal, which I think is very helpful in fighting off what people criticize about this build. Now, I know in the comments I'm probably going to get people saying I missed this or I missed that, and I'd be happy to hear it. If you guys have other things that you think make D3 really hateable, then let me know. I'm happy to hear why, because it gives me more insight on how everybody thinks and how everybody feels about the game. From my perspective, those are really the only issues that I see with D3, is that people don't like how tanky it makes the player using it and the team, and people don't like that it can dish out damage while being this tanky. Beyond that, if there's other things, please let me know, but that's really what I see, and I see that the only fix would be that 10k stamina. Obviously, not suggesting that it needs a fix. I'm actually pretty neutral when it comes to D3. I think that it fits in with this meta. Yes, it's strong, but I mean, you're going to see here me trying to take on a 4-man with this D3, and yes, D3 is strong enough to take on a couple of them and take a few of them out, but it's not something where I would be able to sustain and keep killing people, and it's not completely broken in OP. If I was running Nomad, I think that I would have been able to take all 4 of these people out, and actually I think the clip after this I run Banshee and I do take them all out. But it's very interesting. I think that D3 is hated by a lot of people for the reasons that I stated earlier, but in my personal opinion, I think that it's pretty fine. I'm neutral on it. I know a lot of people really hate it, some people really love it. I don't have really any kind of love or hate relationship with D3. To me, it's just a really strong build that's in the game. It is counterable, and if I don't have a tactician with a sticky on my team, then all I have to know is it's going to be really tough to take him down. But and I do think that it hits a little too hard, but not at all nerf worthy if we were in an earlier game setting. Where we are in this game's life cycle with Division 2 coming out very soon, obviously I'm not expecting anything to happen, but I think that that's the only thing that really could happen that would be a fair nerf to this gear set. But if you look at things in the past that were OP, broken, too powerful, I don't feel like D3 meets the criteria of things that used to be OP. So I don't know. I don't really think that I agree with people that really hate this gear set. But that's just my opinion. I know a lot of people hate this gear set, and they're going to hate my opinion. That's it for this video. I really don't have anything more for you. The next clip is where I come out with Banshee. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I've got some really fun videos coming up this week, and a really funny one towards the end. So I hope you guys enjoy that, and I will catch you tomorrow.
Let's get going.
Rogue agent down.